What's up, everybody? King Will Gaming here. Thank you for stopping by. If you're new, I hope you guys like this content and end up subscribing to the channel. Now, with this video, I pretty much wanted to shed some light on an issue that I think a lot of UFC players would agree with that concerns UFC's current gameplay situation. Specifically, the grappling system that is currently in place for the franchise. UFC is a franchise I really do thoroughly enjoy. It's the closest thing to satisfying a fight fan's thirst for some type of simulation in-ring style fighting game. Seeing that the Fight Night series has been scrapped for almost a whole decade now, and it is very unlikely we will see another Fight Night or any other legit boxing game because the popularity of boxing honestly has dropped over the years. Boxing has now become more of a hardcore boxing fan's pastime. And with that being said, EA from a business perspective doesn't believe a dedicated boxing franchise will sell. But with the UFC, it's a growing entity, still kind of an underground sport. I guess you can consider it underground. Not too many people really know or watch MMA. They just signed a TV deal with ESPN not too long ago, I believe. So we're going to be seeing way more fights on a bigger mainstream platform, which is great for me because that means I can catch way more fights throughout the year. But that's all besides the point. Point is, UFC games are worth selling. And with that being said, we're definitely going to be getting a UFC 4, and I have to say that I love what EA has done with the game since they have taken over the UFC licensing. The presentation is great. The career mode was lacking for a very long time, but now with UFC 3, with the GOAT mode, I really enjoyed that. I like the attention to detail. Hopefully it gets better from that point. Um, but of course there's a but. They have improved the game in everywhere else except for the goddamn grappling, man. The grappling system, I don't know what else to really say about it at this point. It just flat out sucks, and I'm just ready for something new. This is just me talking. Maybe you still like it. But I'm tired of it. To me, it is unenjoyable to engage in. We are 3 titles in, and the grappling has been stuck in the same state since the first UFC release under EA. Way back in 2014, it is 2019. It's been 5 years, man. 5 years, and they refuse to implement any changes to the grappling. At this point, I just feel like the developers in EA are just taking a giant just dump on UFC fans. Half of a decade, they've developed 3 games, and there isn't any growth really with one of the biggest parts of gameplay and one of the biggest parts of fighting in the sport of MMA. The fact that they are casually overlooking, or at least they make me feel like they're casually overlooking it. This is quite frankly just, some bullshit. I hate grappling, and I'm not the only person that shares the sentiment because nobody really grapples on the game. You know, I absolutely can't stand it, me. And this is coming from somebody who enjoys grappling and wrestling. Like, I love watching somebody like a Khabib dominating the ground. But when you grapple in this game, it completely stops the momentum, sometimes just dead. Which it kind of does the same thing in the actual UFC, but it's more so just like it slows down the fight, most of the time. It still has a type of flow to it. Grappling has its own type of pace versus striking. But EA's problem is that they've failed to really capture the intensity and flow of grappling movement. Whether it be the clinch or on the ground, instead of an engaging experience, you have to sit there and fill up meters that sometimes take forever to progress through, and engagements, instead of feeling smooth and seamless and having a steady flow, everything feels just slow at times, man. Clunky, and gives you that robotic animatronic feel with the movements. And this meter system they have kept in the game for this long, it really kind of hurts competitive play at times. Let somebody have somewhat of a knowledge of how to block transitions. It's pretty much a done deal for you. Say goodbye, man. Get ready to say goodnight. Unless you so happen, picked a wrestler then you have more of a fighting chance. But even sometimes that doesn't even help you out. Online matches can become so one-sided at times, when it gets taken to the ground, because it takes an eternity to progress through transitions off your back, and even longer to do reversals. Players can keep you there for pretty much entire rounds. And even if you manage to get up on your feet, 9 times out of 10, your opponent is a jackass and he'll take you down again, and then you have to start the process all over again. The meters fills up so slow to complete your transitions at times. Even the most average of UFC players can block a few transitions. And you can kind of see this happening to me right here in this gameplay. Tyrone Woodley is just literally blocking everything. I cannot do anything right now. I'm just stuck. I'm fighting for my freaking life. And look at the meters filled, and I actually get the reversal right here. I managed to get the reverse and I managed to get up. But look at my stamina. It's all drained and everything. Man, but just stay focused, okay? So, yeah, like I said, even the most average of players can block transitions. And I'm not saying that they should change the grappling to appease to more average UFC players, because I'm sure some of you will come in my comment section saying I'm just saying this because, oh, I'm trash at the game and I want players with less skill to win. That's not the case at all. Shut up and just listen, all right? I'm just asking, well, begging at this point, really, for EA to make grappling more engaging and more exciting and more just fluid. If I'm going to lose a fight on the ground, I want to at least feel like I had a fair shot to get to my feet or reverse into a dominant position, instead of somebody standing over me, blocking these slow transitions, moving at retirement home speed at times, depleting my stamina and knocking me out, making me feel helpless as fuck when I get on my back. And don't even get me started on how frustrating it is to grapple with the AI in GOAT mode. Daniel Cormier in the light heavyweight division on the ground, unbelievable. And you can kind of see it in this gameplay with Tyrone Woodley. He's a wrestler also. I mean, I get it, wrestler still. I mean, if my stats are up, like my stats on this welterweight I made is literally at like 100, but yet I still struggle on the ground. It's just ridiculous. And I just don't understand how in the UFC Undisputed series, though, back on old gen consoles that I never got to play, but I seen gameplay. Grappling looks 30 times better than a game that is made on more powerful consoles with more output. I just don't understand. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know if it's because the devs are lazy and they don't want to rebuild the system from scratch, or they're just putting their budget into everything else and have nothing left for grappling. But I mean, they improved the striking. Striking is a lot better, from the arcade feel in UFC 2, or should I say UFC Mortal Kombat 2? No, I just don't know. But what I do know is that there's no excuse, 3 games in. We need to change from this uninspired bare bones system. But now, now that I just really just said that out loud, then again, maybe the reason they haven't changed it because it's such a simple system. Maybe they've kept it in this long for the sake of new players. They didn't want to make learning grappling hard for the user. Maybe that is the reason. And if so, I get that, but there has to be a better way, man. It just has to be a better way, better immersion, better movement, more fluidity in it. Just makes it more 50-50. Because if you really think about it, I mean, if they're really just keeping this system bare bones the way it is, they have not changed it up over the past 3 releases just for the sake of new players. I mean, honestly, it's just a detrimental cost to the overall gameplay experience, man. Because games need to progress. Franchises and multiple releases need to progress and improve. And this this system, this grappling system, is really due for an update, man. I just feel like there's something that they can do better. I mean, a more better simple system, other than this meter thing that we've had to deal with since EA's taken over the licensing, man. So, But that could just be me. Honestly, it could just be me. Hell, there might be people that are satisfied and don't want it to change and just wants it to stay what it is. But me, honestly, I just feel like there's probably a better way to do it, you know. But that's just me, man. You guys go into the comments section. Let me know your thoughts. I love it when we get interaction with my videos. It's always great to see that. You know, if you like this content, hit that like button. Slap that subscribe button, man. Really would appreciate it. This is King Will Gaming signing out. And I'll catch you guys on the next video.
He threw an incredibly large volume of strikes, but this last one was the big one that landed for the knockout.